you think, Zoe? Because there wasn't that much detail about how the country is going to get there.
Yeah, firstly, I'll just say on voter turnout, I do think, we saw a fall in voter turnout at this general election, and I think the government should be working to improve that in the longer term. Of the votes they did get, they do have a thumping majority, and I think the real risk is that they don't use that effectively, actually, to deliver the change that the country so needs. As you say, the speech yesterday was slightly light on policy detail, and it seems like we are going to have to wait till budget to see, what they're going to do on investment, what they're going to do on taxes, and what they're going to do, all importantly, on those fiscal rules that gives the government the headspace, the necessary headspace to make the investments that this country needs. Yeah, it's a tricky one as a standalone policy to assess as well, because obviously the government went very early with it. There was a bit of a vacuum of news over summer, so that then filled the airwaves about responses to. I mean, in general, means testing benefits is a good thing to do. Of course, there are always going to be losers, and then there are going to be losers who are on those margins, and we should worry about them this winter. But really, we need to wait till budget to see what government plans in other areas to pensions to see the overall effect of those changes. I mean, I would just come in on the sickness causing unemployment point. I mean, there's massive variation across the country. Here in Liverpool, healthy life expectancy is 58. That's 7 years before you retire. You're expected, on average, to get sick before you retire. I mean, it's a state of affairs, we can't continue with. But my sense is the emphasis was very much on, improving the health of people in order to get that welfare bill down rather than the other way round. And that's when we've got to look at the prevention agenda, because that's the thing that's really going to make the difference
and it's really important.
You look at where we are in those tables with comparable countries, and perhaps none of those options are palatable, but are we going to have to go for one of them?
Well, I think, even within the current model, we need reform and funding at the same time, let's face it. I don't think these are mutually exclusive options. And, moving to a more preventative system to help build the NHS fit for the future in years to come will be, in our book, the most important thing for the government to focus on. Can I just say, I think, government's role is to create the kind of conditions that people can live safely and securely and find joy in their own lives in their own way. It's not to provide an entertainment show, as we've seen, in recent decades. So I do think, we've got to stick to the basics that the government can provide and kind of leave people to do the rest. But that said, I think guiding people, whether it's to healthier lives through reducing smoking or reducing alcohol consumption, is only a good thing. And actually, taxes that can be raised on those areas can be then reinvested into people's lives, into localities, to help them lead healthier lives. So I don't think we should shy away from the government having a bit of a guiding hand in that respect.
Interventions are good, but just keep...
From the speech and conference, Zoe?
Yeah, I mean, I think the party has turned a bit of a corner, and the fact that the Prime Minister was able to relax into his speech and talk about personal things, which I know perhaps isn't the thing that he goes to as his number one pitch, was a good sign. So, but a lot of pressure now on budget to really come up with the goods.